Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate 50th anniversary celebrations of Agradoot newspaper group in Assam through video conferencing today. Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam to be inaugurated in Varanasi tomorrow by the Prime Minister. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari says country witnessing unprecedented infrastructural transformation and unfolding prosperity through connectivity. Coal Ministry says it aims to conclude wage pact of its non-executive workforce at the earliest in a mutually agreeable manner. Nation remembers Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his 121st birth anniversary today. Vice President, Prime Minister and several other leaders paid tribute. 4 people feared to have been washed away in a flash flood at Chorj village in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh. Met Office says active monsoon conditions to continue for another 5 to 7 days in several parts of the country. In Women's Hockey World Cup, India to take on New Zealand in their final pool match tomorrow, and in Wimbledon Tennis, Sania Mirza with her Croatian partner to play mixed doubles semi-final today. Rafael Nadal, Nick Kyrgios and Simona Halep to appear in the singles quarterfinals today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the Agradoot group of newspapers at 4:30 this evening through video conferencing. Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, who is the chief patron of Agradoot's Golden Jubilee Celebration Committee, will also be present on the occasion. Agradoot was started as an Assamese bi-weekly. It was established by Kanak Sen Deka, senior journalist. In 1995, a daily newspaper, Dainik Agradoot, was started and it has developed as a trusted and influential voice of Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam at Varanasi tomorrow. The Samagam is being organized by the Education Ministry in association with University Grants Commission and Banaras Hindu University. Talking to AIR News, educationist Dr. Sant Kumar Chaudhary said the 3-day event will bring together over 300 vice-chancellors and directors from public and private universities, educationists and policymakers.
That Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi will be inaugurating Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam, I think in Varanasi, which has been organized in the joint effort with University Service Commission and Banaras Hindu Vishwavidyalaya, in which more than 300 Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Directors of different institutions from public and private universities, educationists, policymakers will be participating. This deliberation for 3 days will be very useful to implement National Education Policy 2020. I think this is very useful and this will help a lot to understand what is the benefit after implementation of the National Education Policy 2020.
Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will also attend the event. The summit will provide a platform for leading Indian higher educational institutions to discuss, deliberate and share insights on strategies, success stories and best practices in implementing the National Education Policy 2020. The key highlight of the meet will be the adoption of the Varanasi Declaration on Higher Education. It will showcase India's extended vision and a renewed commitment to help achieve the goals of the higher education system.
Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the new 6-lane tunnel at the Khambhat-Bhatki Ghat on Pune-Satara highway is expected to be completed by March next year. In a series of tweets, Mr. Gadkari said the country is witnessing unprecedented infrastructural transformation under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and unfolding prosperity through connectivity. He said New India demands world-class infrastructure. Mr. Gadkari highlighted that the existing S-curve in Satara-Pune direction will be completed soon, which would lead to drastic reduction in accident risks. He said this tunnel is a twin tunnel with 3 lanes each and over 6 kilometers. The minister said that the total capital cost for the project is approximately 926 crore rupees. The Coal Ministry has clarified that it aims to conclude the wage pact of its non-executive workforce at the earliest in a mutually agreeable manner. It said the Coal India Limited CIL has held 5 meetings under the National Coal Wage Agreement so far. The ministry said CIL maintains amicable and harmonious relations with its unions and strives to avoid any discordance or strikes in view of the importance of the coal sector in the country. It said the negotiations are in progress and it usually takes time to conclude the pact. The ministry said that CIL was the first CPSU in the country to have successfully concluded the previous 3 wage agreements.
The nation is remembering Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee on his 121st birth anniversary today. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP President J.P. Nadda, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, along with several leaders have paid tributes to the Jan Sangh founder. In a tweet, Vice President Naidu said Dr. Mukherjee was an eminent statesman, visionary thinker, renowned educationist, and a passionate nationalist. The Prime Minister shared a video on his Twitter handle saying Dr. Mukherjee is widely respected for his contribution to India's development, particularly in sectors such as commerce and industry.
1947 से 1950 तक डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी भारत के पहले उद्योग मंत्री रहे। 1948 में आई स्वतंत्र भारत की पहली औद्योगिक नीति उनके आइडियाज और विजन की छाप लेकर के आई। डॉक्टर मुखर्जी का भारत के रक्षा उत्पादन के स्वदेशीकरण पर बड़ी विशेष जोर था। आइए हम हमेशा डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी के एकता के संदेश को याद रखें, सद्भाव और भाईचारे की भावना के साथ भारत की प्रगति के लिए जी जान से जुटे रहें।
BJP President J.P. Nadda also paid tributes to Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee on his birth anniversary. He said Dr. Mukherjee was a renowned educationist and thinker.
उन्होंने उद्योग की नीति रखी और साथ ही साथ उन्होंने खादी ग्रामोद्योग की भी स्थापना की। एक महान विचारक, एक महान शिक्षाविद ने बहुत कम समय में ही जो औद्योगिक नीति थी उसके माध्यम से भारत को मजबूती प्रदान करने का प्रयास किया।
Mr. Nadda said Shama Prasad Mukherjee was unhappy with Article 370 and launched a satyagraha in 1952 for full integration of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. In the Central Hall of Parliament, Prime Minister Modi, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, Union Ministers Piyush Goyal, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Dr. Jitendra Singh and Arjun Ram Meghwal paid floral tributes at the portrait of Dr. Mukherjee. Several members of parliament, former members of parliament and other dignitaries also paid their tributes. A booklet containing the profile of Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee brought out by the Lok Sabha Secretariat in Hindi and English was presented to the dignitaries who attended the function. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed his greetings to the Dalai Lama on his 87th birthday over phone today. Mr. Modi wished him a long and healthy life. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has extended birthday greetings to the Dalai Lama. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said, Lama has made Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh his home and spread the message of peace and spirituality to the world. The minister wished the Dalai Lama good health and happiness.
More than 198 crore 20 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far. Over 9,95,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 16,159 new COVID cases were reported and 15,394 people recovered from the infection. India's active case load currently stands at over 1,15,000 and it is at 0.26%. The recovery rate is currently at 98.53%. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia today said that the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana has resulted in huge savings to citizens for medical expenses. In a tweet, Dr. Mandavia said, low-cost and quality medicines available at Jan Aushadhi Kendras has brought down the expenses for the common man. He said the savings of citizens on medical expenses has risen from 2,500 crore rupees in 2019-20 to 5,360 crore rupees in 2021-22. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate 50th anniversary celebrations of Agradut newspaper group in Assam through video conferencing today. Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam to be inaugurated in Varanasi tomorrow by the Prime Minister. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari says country witnessing unprecedented infrastructural transformation and unfolding prosperity through connectivity. Coal Ministry says it aims to conclude wage pact of its non-executive workforce at the earliest in a mutually agreeable manner. Nation remembers Shama Prasad Mukherjee on his 121st birth anniversary today. Vice President, Prime Minister and several other leaders pay tribute. 4 people feared to have been washed away in a flash flood at Koj village in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh. Met Office says active monsoon conditions to continue for another 5 to 7 days in several parts of the country. In Women's Hockey World Cup, India to take on New Zealand in the final pool match tomorrow. And in Wimbledon Tennis, Sania Mirza with a Croatian partner to play mixed doubles semi-finals today. Rafael Nadal and Nick Kyrgios and Simona Halep to appear in the singles quarterfinals today. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
कॉम्पिटिशन्स की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो आपके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो लाया है कार्यक्रम अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछते हैं सवाल 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर, जिसके जवाब एक्सपर्ट देंगे शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे। इस बार का विषय है ज्योग्राफी यानी कि भूगोल और प्रश्न भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 6 जुलाई। आपके सवालों का हम कर रहे हैं इंतजार। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
बर्फ से ढके पहाड़,
हवा के साथ झूमते चीड़ चिनार,
झीलों पर तैरते शिकारे,
हरी भरी घाटियों के दिलकश नजारे।
आकाशवाणी समाचार आपके लिए लेकर आया है जम्मू कश्मीर विशेष श्रृंखला एक नई सुबह।
हम बात करते हैं विकास की, निवेश की,
पर्यटन की, संस्कृति की
और रोज हो रहे बदलावों की। FM गोल्ड पर सुनिए हर शुक्रवार रात 9:15 पर आकाशवाणी समाचार की विशेष प्रस्तुति
जम्मू कश्मीर एक नई सुबह।
Welcome back to the Midday News. NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu will reach Dimapur today to seek support for her candidature for the president's post. She will be accompanied by Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbananda Sonowal. Ms. Murmu will be meeting Nagaland Chief Minister Nephew Rio along with ministers and MLAs to seek their support. The fifth accused in Udaipur tailor Kanhaiyalal's murder case was produced before the special court in Jaipur, which remanded him to NIA custody till the 12th of this month. Mohammad Mohsin was arrested by the NIA for his alleged role in Recce. 4 accused, including 2 main assailants, Riaz and Ghaus Mohammed, and 2 others, Mohsin Khan and Asif, are already under 10-day NIA remand for their alleged role in conspiracy. Kanhaiyalal was allegedly beheaded by the 2 main assailants at his shop in Dhanmandi area of Udaipur on the afternoon of June the 28th.
In Madhya Pradesh, voting is going on peacefully in the first phase of the urban body elections in the state so far. People are casting the votes with great enthusiasm. As per the available data, over 45% of eligible voters have exercised their franchise till 1 p.m. Polling started at 7 in the morning and will go on till 5 p.m. In all, 101 candidates are in the fray for the post of mayor in 11 municipal corporations, while 11,250 candidates are contesting the elections for 2,850 councillor posts. Rashtriya Raksha University RRU at Gandhinagar has signed an MOU with Drona Acharya Aerial Innovations Private Limited for setting up a remote pilot training centre for imparting drone flying skills. This training will be imparted to the police and security force personnel and citizens at RRU campus near Gandhinagar. According to official sources, this initiative is to identify, prepare and sustain statecraft of national strategic and security culture among the security, police and civilian society.
While inaugurating the 2-day Drone Festival of India in New Delhi on 27th May, Prime Minister Narendra Modi resolved to make India a global drone hub. Now, the Rashtriya Raksha University RRU in Gandhinagar has taken a lead to fulfill this commitment as a part of its basic mission. According to the Vice Chancellor of RRU, Dr. Bimal Patel, enthusiasm for drone technology is amazing in India. Apart from police and defense personnel, The large number of school children witnessed and enjoyed the immersive performance of drone technology. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The Prime Minister has expressed grief at the passing away of freedom fighter P. Gopinathan Nair. Mr. Modi said he will be remembered for his contribution to India's freedom struggle and unwavering commitment to Gandhian principles. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Amarnath Ji Yatra resumed today from Baltal and Pahalgam tracks after remaining suspended for a day due to inclement weather. A fresh batch of nearly 6,000 pilgrims in a cavalcade of 209 vehicles left the Bhagwati Nagar base camp in Jammu this morning. A total of 73,546 yatris have had holy darshan of Lord Shiva till last evening. The online darshan is also available on the website of Sri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board, www.sriamarnathjishrine.com.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an exclusive interview today with the High Commissioner of the United Republic of Tanzania to India, Anisa Kapufi Mabega, in the program Spotlight tonight. Talking to AIR News, the High Commissioner said Tanzania is a key strategic partner of India and both the nations share close cultural and trade relations.
Tanzanian people love Indian music a lot. We love the Indian dance and movies. So through this, people get to interact and formidable cooperation. Exchange programs through different channels, such as training, is a catalyst for continuation of the bond between our people of Tanzania and India. Trading and investments as well is also another avenue for maintaining such kind of a bond, just to mention a few.
The full interview can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. All India Radio News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
6th of July 1837 is the birth anniversary of R.G. Bhandarkar, who was one of India's pioneer social reformers and first Orientologists. He reconstructed the political history of the Satvahans of the Deccan and the history of Vaishnavism and other sects. As a great social reformer, through his researches, he castigated the evils of the caste system and child marriage.
Bhandarkar became a member of the Paramhans Sabha in 1853, where he was inspired by the lectures of Keshub Chandra Sen. In the year 1866, in a public meeting, he took a public pledge to eradicate the social evils of child marriage, the caste system, and to promote the education of women and widow remarriage.
Thus, to attain the objectives, R.G. Bhandarkar, along with M.G. Ranade, helped found the Prarthana Samaj in 1867. As an educationist, he was elected to the Imperial Legislative Council in 1903 as a non-official member. Gopal Krishna Gokhale was another member of the council.
R.G. Bhandarkar was also the first Indian Vice-Chancellor of Bombay University and the first Indian to be awarded an LLD degree by the university in 1904. Justice Ranade had a great respect for Dr. Bhandarkar. Ranade said,
Dr. Bhandarkar's stature is no less than the great leaders of Brahmo Samaj. He's not just an eminent scholar, he's greater than that. He's a guide. He has been an example by himself and a teacher from whom we receive the best instructions in our life.
Dr. Bhandarkar left this world on the 24th of August 1925. We salute the great nationalist.
We We also remember freedom fighter and crusader of social justice Babu Jagjeevan Ram on his death anniversary. Born in Bhojpur, Bihar, Jagjeevan Ram played a very active role in the freedom struggle. He became a legislator at the young age of 28 in the year 1936 as a nominated member of the Bihar Legislative Council. When the Congress government was formed in 1937, Jagjeevan Ram was appointed as the parliamentary secretary. However, in 1938, he resigned along with the entire cabinet.
Inspired by Gandhiji, Jagjeevan Ram courted arrest on the 10th of December 1940. He was again arrested on the 19th of August 1942 for his active participation in the Quit India movement. After his release, he became the youngest minister in the interim government in 1946. He also served as a member of the Constituent Assembly of India.
Post-independence, Babu Jagjeevan Ram went on to serve as a minister with various portfolios for the next 30 years. His contribution to the Green Revolution in India is still remembered. The great nationalist leader left for his heavenly abode on the 6th of July 1986. AIR News salutes the great son of the soil, Babu Jagjeevan Ram.
We also remember Martyr Sadhu Singh, who was born on the 6th of July 1921 in Kapurthala, Punjab. Sadhu Singh was a sepoy in the Bahawalpur infantry of the British Indian Army. Following his capture by the Japanese forces in Singapore in 1942, he volunteered to join the Indian National Army there. He confronted the British forces in the battlefields of Ipoh, Pegu and Rangoon. Sadhu Singh lost his life while fighting on the Burmese front in 1944. We salute this brave martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In Himachal Pradesh, 4 people are feared to have been swept away in a flash flood incident caused by cloudburst at Choj village in Manikaran Valley of Kullu district this morning. According to State Emergency Operations Centre, some houses and a camping site have also been damaged in the incident. The bridge leading to the village has also been damaged due to flash flood. The district administration along with police personnel is carrying out relief and rescue operations in the affected areas. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has expressed his condolence to the bereaved people who lost their loved ones in Himachal Pradesh due to cloudburst in Kullu and landslide in Shimla. In a tweet, the minister said the administration is engaged in relief and rescue operations.
India Met Department has said active monsoon conditions will continue for another 5 to 7 days in several parts of the country. Talking to AIR News, senior scientist and IMD R.K. Janamani said, under its impact, very heavy rainfall will occur in several states, including Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat.
Very heavy rainfall over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand likely to remain, especially on 8, 9, and we have given orange color also. Then current heavy rainfall spell over Maharashtra, that is mainly Bombay region, Konkan, and Mahabaleshwar, Madhya Maharashtra, coastal Karnataka, and then Gujarat also will remain for 3 to 4 days. We have red and orange color warning. Also Madhya Pradesh, Vidarbha and Odisha, Chhattisgarh will be there. Monsoon is very active, and this active monsoon will continue another 5 to 7 days. About Delhi, we have currently the sweating and high humid weather, but the rainfall will be there today, some light rainfall, but the rain will increase on 7th, 8th and 9th. There will be light to moderate rain.
Mumbai and other parts, including the coastal Konkan region and southwestern part of Maharashtra, have been receiving heavy to very heavy rainfall for the last 3 days, causing disruption of normal life. Mumbai received 70% of the average July rainfall in just 5 days. A report.
In view of red alert issued for the rain-prone areas, 17 NDRF teams have been deployed in various parts of the state. NDRF Commanding Officer Anupam Srivastav said 5 NDRF teams have been deployed in Mumbai alone. Besides, 2 teams each for Thane, Ratnagiri, Raigad and Kolhapur districts. In addition, one team each in Palghar, Sindhudurg and Satara districts have been deployed. Due to the torrential rains for 2 consecutive days, the water level of Panchaganga river in Kolhapur district is crossing the danger level. Besides, water level of other rivers of the district are also increasing rapidly. Due to overflow of rivers, direct connectivity to more than 40 villages have been affected and alternate routes are being used. In the last 24 hours, 11 dam areas of Kolhapur district including Gagan Bhavda Taluka have received heavy rains. Devopriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Karnataka, Karwar Deputy Commissioner Mullai Mugilan declared holiday for the schools and colleges in the district due to heavy rainfall. Few villages in the Ankola and Joida taluks are badly affected. Deputy Commissioner Sanjay Shaten informed that the Tungabhadra Dam tributaries, Kumadevati and Varade rivers were flowing above the danger mark. People living near the river banks were asked to shift to safer places. In Nepal, the government has decided to withdraw the bill to amend the Citizenship Act 2006 that is under consideration of the Parliament. Nepalese Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Govinda Koirala, told the local media that the cabinet yesterday decided to withdraw the bill from Parliament and register a new one by removing some provisions in the existing draft. He further said the new bill with provisions agreed upon by the political parties will be tabled in the House. The bill remained on hold due to parties' differences over some provisions since August 2018.
Amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, Moscow yesterday claimed that some of the West-supplied weapons are spreading across the West Asia and ending up in the black market. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said this in a televised remark. He said Ukraine has received more than 20,000 tons of military cargo so far. He alleged that in the hope of prolonging the conflict in Ukraine, the collective West is continuing large-scale arms supplies to Kyiv regime. Sweden and Finland have signed the accession protocols at the NATO headquarters. The signing was held yesterday in the presence of Finnish Foreign Minister Pekka Haavisto and the Swedish Foreign Minister Ann Linde. The signing comes after the trilateral memorandum between Turkey, Finland and Sweden on joining the NATO. The signing of the accession protocols marks the start of the ratification process. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg termed the signing as historic.
On to sports. In the FIH Women's Hockey World Cup, India will take on New Zealand tomorrow in their final pool match. The match will be played in Amstelveen at 11 p.m. Yesterday, India secured a 1-1 draw against China in their Pool B fixture. Chia Li Cheng gave China the lead in the 26th minute before Vandana Kataria equalized for India in the 45th minute. Earlier, India drew 1-1 against Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist England in their tournament opener. In Wimbledon Tennis, Sania Mirza with her Croatian partner Mate Pavic will play the mixed doubles semi-final today. The duo will take on British-US Neil Skupski and Desiree Crouchick. In the other mixed doubles semi-final, Australian pair Matthew Ebden and Samantha Stossur will play Jack Sock and Coco Gauff of the US. In the men's singles, Rafael Nadal will meet T. Fritz of USA, while Nick Kyrgios will play Christian Garin in the quarterfinals today. In the women's singles quarterfinals, Simona Halep will face Amanda Anasimova and Ayla Tomljanovic will clash with Elena Rybakina. In the women's doubles quarterfinal, US pair Danielle Collins and Desiree Crouchick will meet Poland, New Zealand pair Alicia Rosolska of Poland and Erin Rutliff. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate 50th anniversary celebrations of Agradut newspaper group in Assam through video conferencing today. Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam to be inaugurated in Varanasi tomorrow by the Prime Minister. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari says country witnessing unprecedented infrastructural transformation and unfolding prosperity through connectivity. Coal Ministry says it aims to conclude wage pact of its non-executive workforce at the earliest in a mutually agreeable manner. Nation remembers Shama Prasad Mukherjee on his 121st birth anniversary today. Vice President, Prime Minister, several other leaders paid tribute. 4 people feared to have been washed away in a flash flood at Choj village in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh. Met Office says active monsoon conditions to continue for another 5 to 7 days in several parts of the country. In Women's Hockey World Cup, India to take on New Zealand in their final pool match tomorrow. And in Wimbledon Tennis, Sania Mirza with her Croatian partner to play mixed doubles semi-final today. Rafael Nadal, Nick Kyrgios and Simona Halep to appear in singles quarterfinals today. And with that, we end the midday news.